Check the mic, we're going live. Stories told, they rise and dive. Topics fresh with every spin. You won't guess what's coming in. Every week a new surprise. Minds awake, never lies. Conversations bold and free. Tune in now, just wait and see. This podcast is uncalled for. Catch us here, there's so much more. Laughs and tales you can't ignore. A journey that will leave you floored. In the night or in the day, just press play, we're on our way. Voices sharp, opinion.
Hi everybody, welcome to the podcast. A couple of things about this episode. One, I'm going to call this a semi-snowed in episode because it started snowing today. Fortunately not deep enough to impede my travels, but still, it snowed. We're in Kansas City. It snows here in the winter. And if you've been a regular listener to the podcast, then you know we've done episodes where I actually have been snowed in. So there's that part. And then another part is today's episode comes as a result of a special request. Oddly enough, from a gentleman I've known my whole life by the name of Ben Cherniffsky Jr. A lot of people listening to this will probably know him as Ben or Mr. C. I know him as Dad. Anyway, the story I'm about to tell you is a scouting story, which I'm going to title the episode The Tale of the 24-Year-Old Midget, and you'll find out as I tell the story why I chose that title. This would have been December 20... No, not 20. So, here's how long ago it was. 1992, 1993, around there. Maybe 1991, because I would have been 13 at the time of this story. A video does exist of this, but my dad's initial idea was for me to rip the audio from that video and share it with y'all. But there's a couple of complications, one of which is most of the kids in that video, were kids at the time, 10 years old, and I was 13, as I said, so we're talking about we were all minors at the time, and I can't find the tape right now either, so alright, so for context, this was a Boy Scout field trip, specifically it was a Webelos field trip. I feel I need to explain for those who have never been in the Boy Scouts program. Cub Scouts, those are the elementary school kids, or elementary through about 5th grade. And then 5th grade and above, that's your Boy Scouts, that's your Eagle Scouts and all that. So Cub Scouts is the Boy Scouts before elementary school kids. Webelos is the only 2-year program in the Cub Scout organization for 4th and 5th graders. This is the step just before becoming full-blown Boy Scouts, and it's Webelos, not Webelo. We were taught it was an acronym for Will Be Loyal Scouts. So Webelos, not Webelo. It's like ninjas. So this would have been my brother Joe's Webelos den. They're called dens and packs in Cub Scouts, patrols and troops and Boy Scouts. So this was my brother's den. I was the den chief. A den chief is a full-blown Boy Scout who takes time to help out a Cub Scout den. Right? And it just happened the den leaders, going back to when Joe was a Cub Scout, were one of my two parents. By Webelos, it would have been my dad running the den. So they're all 10 years old, so first year Webelos. And we go on a little day-long field trip. First stop, some park in southeastern Nebraska along the Missouri River to see a showboat, a steamboat just sitting there doing nothing. And the park we happened to be at did not have a flushing toilet. So we stopped there, and then we stopped there later for lunch after the next part of this trip. And that would have been, my dad arranged for the den to tour the training facility of a nuclear power plant. I kid you not. My dad, when he was working, did a lot of work with turbine generators in nuclear power plants, including the one we went to, which was Cooper Nuclear Power Plant in southeast Nebraska. Now, proviso, the training center is not actually part of the plant. It's like right next to the power plant. They would not. They're not going to let a bunch of 10-year-olds actually walk in and tour a nuclear power plant now, are they? And we are certainly not The Simpsons, where, the very second episode of The Simpsons, that's exactly what they did, was tour nuclear power plants. But they weren't going to let the kids anywhere near the functioning power plants. So, training center it was. And my dad was telling us about one of the scouts. Side note, this particular scout wound up becoming an Eagle Scout and follows me on Facebook and has done a pretty good job working with pipes and plumbing sales and stuff like that. So congratulations to him. But for this particular trip, he chimed in with news of this particular restriction. I'm a 24-year-old midget. So, hence the title of this episode. Now, we go into the training facility, and they actually have a full-blown mock-up of what's the control room inside the functioning power plant would look like. And keep in mind, this was the early 90s, so all the cool shit that we have now wasn't around then. So we're talking about old school keyboards and levers and switches and lights and all that stuff. So still some really old school technology, but it was really cool. It was really cool. A whole room looking like that. And they put us through a bit of a simulation to what would it look like if something bad were to happen at the power plant. So that's pretty cool. And I felt like I got involved. I think the kids all got involved as well, though. So, yeah. So when we left, we went back to that park for a sack lunch, and then drove back down the Missouri River to a site that I always was under the assumption it was between Kansas City and St. Joseph. But no, it's between St. Joseph and the Missouri-Iowa state line. So the place is called Squaw Creek. I didn't come up with the name, so but it's a nature reserve where they have an annual, or at least it was annual at the time, events called Bald Eagle Days, which involved, among other things, a speech involving a real life bald eagle, and man, those birds are huge. And then once we were done, we spent the rest of the next hour or two driving around the place looking for bald eagles. But a couple of things of notes. One, there was it's a pretty hilly place, and there was a giant hill, and we all decided, yeah, it'd be cool to roll down the hill. So you have a bunch of 10-year-olds and one 13-year-old rolling down a hill and making themselves quite dizzy, as you do. And then we proceed to drive through the reserve and went to a spotting tower, and I managed to get myself in a little bit of trouble at said spot tower. So yeah, to the degree that whoever got me into trouble said I was going to be hanged from said tower. And mind you, this was not a big tower at all. It may have been big for me at the time, but couldn't be more than a couple stories tall. Certainly not taller than the tower that used to stand at Charmission Park. So yeah, that's pretty much the extent of that particular trip. And it was a fun trip. I'm certainly not going to recommend everyone going to a nuclear power plant and getting a grand tour, because that ain't happening. All right, just a reminder, my dad worked with that power plant, but certainly check to see. They may have changed the name already too, because I know that that particular word has a negative connotation to it, so they may have changed the name. But yeah, check to see that nature preserve. I'll look it up after I'm done. I'll probably, if the name has changed, I will let you know in my outro. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, everybody, and we will talk again very soon. Alright, so shortly after doing the recording, I learned that Squaw Creek has been renamed. It is now Loess Bluffs National Wildlife Refuge. That's LOESS Bluffs. And it is indeed just off of I-29 north of St. Joseph. And the small town closest to Cooper Nuclear Power Plant is Brownsville. Some of those ones in Nebraska, in the in the southeast corner of Nebraska along the Missouri River. So, this podcast is Uncalled For is hosted, produced, and edited by myself, Mike Cherniffsky. Our opening music is this podcast is Uncalled For theme created at suno.com. That's suno.com. Our outro music for this episode is The Traveling Man by Nat M. Wills, licensed under public domain, sound recording, common law, protection license. You can find this music at freemusicarchive.org.
Please support the podcast and purchase our exclusive Uncalled For merchandise. T-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and so much more. Go to www.cafepress.com/uncalledforpod. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.
I played Little Eva's part while she was at the doctor's. I played the part with whiskers on, my acting was intense. Ticket speculator stood in front of the theater, got stuck with all his tickets and he lost 11 cents. Then they made me leading man and learn the business quickly. I had to feed a pair of dogs and lead them all around. One of them died in Halifax, but he was very sickly. But they put me on to take his place and made me play a tramp, 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 a tramp the ball.